Okay friends, it's time to get started on our job. We're going to have to get underneath this plastic cover, so let's get it out of the way. To remove this, we're going to move over to the oil cap. Go ahead and grab onto that and turn it counterclockwise. We'll give it a quick inspection, make sure the seal's still good. Set that aside. Now we're just going to grab onto this cover, carefully lift it up, and we can get it out of the way. You're going to want to make sure you clean off the top of your engine where all of your ignition coils are going to be. Okay, so now that we have the cover off of there, we're going to have to get the coils out of the way so we can access the spark plug, which is located beneath each one of these 4 coils. The process for one will be the same for all. So with that said, we're going to start disconnecting the coil. We'll come right over here to the lock, pop this off, squeeze the clamp, lift it up, give it a quick inspection, make sure there's no corrosion. After that, we'll remove our 10mm headed bolt and then the coil. If you can't squeeze the tab, just use a small pocket screwdriver underneath this area. You're going to find a little tab underneath here. Generally, you can get underneath it, give it a little twist, and slide this off. Go ahead and grab onto that coil. We're going to give it a little twist and lift it up and away from the vehicle. Now that we have the coil out of there, let's move along to removing the spark plug. That's going to be located deep down inside here. Before we go ahead and take it out, just use some compressed air and blow inside the tube. To remove the spark plug, we're going to have to use a specialty spark plug socket. Looking inside of this 5/8 spark plug socket, you're going to find that you see a black rubber grommet, approximately this far in. The reason why it's in there is to hold up against the spark plug porcelain. That's going to make it easier to be able to remove the spark plug, of course, and when it comes time to putting it back in, it's going to help make sure that we don't break our brand new spark plug. There it is, friends. Now, before we go ahead and put in our spark plug, just take a peek down in here. There really isn't much to see, but if you see any dirt or debris down on there, or even the threads of your engine don't look like they're in good condition, that's something you're going to want to take care of. Now it's going to be time to install our brand new spark plug. Before we do, just give it a quick inspection. The areas that you want to pay attention to, first of all, is down near the bottom. The center area you see is the electrode. This strap is considered the ground strap. You want to make sure they have the perfect amount of gap in between. Generally, most spark plugs can't be gapped nowadays, but it is something you want to make sure is in good condition, it's not too far, and it's definitely not touching. Aside from that, make your way up to the porcelain. You're going to give it a little spin, and you just want to make sure you don't see any black cracks on it in any way due to shipping or the like. If you see any black cracks, it could potentially mean that the porcelain's broken, in which case you're going to have a serious running issue. Now to put in the spark plug, we're just going to go ahead and put it right up into that spark plug socket. It's going to hold it in place for us. Now we'll put this down and into the engine by hand. We're going to turn it all the way in until it bottoms out. You never want to use an air tool for this. Once you have it bottomed out, go ahead and torque each of these to 15 foot-pounds. Okay friends, now it's time to install our ignition coil. To put this in, let's use a little bit of dielectric lube right inside this port right here. I also generally like to come right along the outer aspect as well. And now we can just go ahead and take this and we're going to slide it down and into position. When we do this, we want this area to line up with the top of the spark plug, and then the bolt area to line up with its corresponding bolt hole on the engine. That slides right down on there. I'm going to give it a little wiggle to work in that dielectric lube. Now we can take our mounting bolt, just give the threads a quick inspection. You want to make sure it doesn't look like they're rotted or damaged in any way. If they are, just go ahead and replace the bolt. This one looks fine, so I'll go ahead and put it in here. Now let's snug this up. Once you have it snug, let's torque it to 89 inch-pounds. Assuming you're sure there's no corrosion inside of this connector here, let's connect it to the ignition coil. We're going to press this in, listen for a click. There's a click. I'm going to give it a tug to make sure it's completely secured and it will not fall off, and then I'll lock it in with the gray locking tab. One last check. Now the process will be the same for all. Now it's going to be time to get our cover back on here. To do that, let's remove our oil fill cover again. Now to put this cover on here, I just want to show you the bottom. You're going to have a couple rubber grommets. Each of those rubber grommets needs to fit onto their corresponding little pitons that are located on or near the engine. Essentially, it's going to hold this in place. Let's go ahead and get this one lined up back here. Now I'll get this one lined up and press it down. Give it a little wiggle to make sure it's secure. Continue on with the oil cap. Okay friends, I showed you how to do one. Now like I said before, the process for all the rest is going to be the exact same thing. Once you have them all done, go ahead and take it for a road test. Make sure you don't hear any funny noises and there's no check engine light. Aside from that, thanks for watching.